streaming, but as always, let's do the audio. Oh, actually, I'm running this over here. So actually, let me see if I can see myself streaming over here. Oh, disconnected from chat. All right. Hey, Seribot is working. All right, let me also check to make sure. Let me see here. Audio mixer. Okay. Let me open up my browser. And also let me check Discord. Looks like the alert went through. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Setting up StreamCord was a great idea. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's so cool. And it has the links for it and everything. That's so nice. All right. Hold on, we're gonna do an audio check. I can't hear anything. Oh, Kyo Demon, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome in, Chan the Magic Man, Kyo Demon, Shuffer Stern. How are you guys doing today? Early birthday. Happy early birthday. Thank you. Yes, my birthday will be on Thursday. I do plan on streaming again as well. Yeah, thanks for shouting out our friend Kyo Demon. Guys, you're not following our friend Kyo Demon. Variety gamer, also funny guy, just overall. Pillbilly, welcome in. What are we going to burn today? I'm gonna burn. No, I don't plan on burning anything, or at least not severely. But welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you guys can hear me. I did not do the audio check, but now I just realized I need to up the volume on my computer. Let me see here. Will that work? Oh, no, I need the audio output to come through my speakers and not through. I bet you it's coming through this mic. So I have a new microphone, guys. It's a new microphone. Wait, you guys can't see it. There you go. New microphone. It's new to me. I got it used, but like it was on Facebook Marketplace. Andres 100 or 000100. Hi, happy birthday. Thank you. It's not until Thursday, but I am going to be celebrating all week. And so I'm beginning, I mean technically I started last night, but I'm beginning today. So first things first, I do have to make sure that I can hear the audio from this, because I don't want to miss. Let me see here. Speakers, choose where to play the sound. Oh, yeah. Okay, microphone, this microphone. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me do, let me just do a quick sound alert really quick. Okay, alright, I can hear that. Alright, awesome guys. Okay, first things first. What I'm going to be making today is I want to make chicken tacos. You saw me walk off screen for a second because I needed to grab this. This is my new cooking toy. Actually, you guys will probably see that better. This is my new cooking toy. It's an Instant Pot. So if you guys have never seen an Instant Pot before, it's crazier than I thought. So, but inside there's this vessel. This is a large one. It's like a 7.5 quarts, but I'm going to layer things in here, and then it's going to cook all at once, and it's hopefully going to be amazing. So, and the chicken I want at the end to be like tear apart chicken, like very, very easy. So, I may have to refer to like slight recipe stuff because I'm not familiar with all of the timings and stuff on this, but I'll show you guys as I throw things into the pot. So, first things first, I do want to have beans in here, so we're going to get black beans. And the wonderful thing about an Instant Pot is that it will cook the beans to be fully soft by the end of the cook. So, your robe is amazing, Los Pollos Hermanos. Yes, I got this apron from a Loot Crate. So if anybody doesn't know what a Loot Crate is, a Loot Crate was a product for a while. I don't know if they're still around, but It was a subscription box where you get things to your house, and Loot Crate was like for nerdy, geeky things, so it might be dealing with like video games, movies, TV shows. And so, for anybody who doesn't know, this is the chicken restaurant from, I think, Breaking Bad. Full disclosure, I never watched Breaking Bad, so I did not know. But I got it, and I'm like, alright, I'll use the apron, that's fine. Felden Kane, welcome in, how's it going? Hey guys, gotta lurk for now, no worries, but have a great stream. Thank you kindly, Felden Kane. Greatly appreciate it. Alright, guys. Oh yeah, while we're here, let's go ahead and get people shout-outs. So, guys, you're not following our friend Kyo Demon. Thanks for shouting out Kyo Demon Chan. Guys, you're not following our friend and mod Chan the Magic Man. Please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man also does magic and also has done cooking on stream. And then, guys, you're not following our friend and mod Felden Kane. Please give Felden Kane a follow as well. Felden Kane Variety Gamer. Okay, I have a copy of chat like right here as well, and my keyboard's over here, so I'm just making sure that I'm staying up to date. Thank you kindly for the shout out. You're welcome, no problem. Alright, so we'll start with some beans. I don't want too many, because I'm going to be making this with just I have 3 chicken breasts, so we're going to be using those. And then I also want to add corn. So first things first, we're going to rinse the beans. So for anybody who hasn't made dry beans before, which it was a new thing to me, so they say that you can wash and rinse the beans, leave them soaking overnight for 48 or 72 hours. You do need to change the water that they're in. But if anybody who's done that before, they never get as soft as they would when they're in a can. Like, canned beans actually come out much softer than even soaking beans for even 72 hours. And so my wife didn't like that. And I was like, oh, okay. But dry beans are technically healthier for you. There's less preservatives. And so I was thinking in the back of my mind, maybe one day I'll get an Instant Pot. And then my wife surprises me for Christmas. So now I have an Instant Pot from Christmas. And now we're gonna make this thing. Alright. So I need enough water in this pot to cover all of the beans. Also make sure that all of your beans are beans. Sometimes there's like random stones or like other rocks or any things in there, so pick them out. I have some weirdly discolored, I don't know if you'll be able to see. If I tilt it, everything's going to move around on me. Actually, I could, for the time being, could I move this camera closer? Okay, a little bit closer. So yeah, some of these beans are like split open, but some of them are like not beans. Or if they are, they're not black beans. So those are okay. But yeah, the first time I did this and I found like a rock and I'm like, there's a rock in here! So yeah, you do have to be careful. Okay. Chan, thank you kindly for the warning. So actually, right now, we've set up Seribot, and now I get notifications in chat when the ad starts and when the ad completes. So hopefully that will alleviate any need to do that. Also, I'm not doing like magic right now, so it's probably less crucial if an ad break occurs during cooking. Honestly, most of the cooking process will probably be waiting once we get everything in here. So, okay, so I do want to make sure that there's enough water in here to mostly cover the beans. And I'll explain what an Instant Pot does when we get there, but okay, so that's what I want there. Next, I want to I'm going to lay the chicken on top of the beans. I'm actually going to place this into the vessel now. Here we go, opening the chicken. Actually, we're just gonna pick them up with this. So I'm going to try and lay them kind of close to the center. I don't want to spread them out, and we'll explain the physics of an Instant Pot later. But it's weird. When I was first reading the instructions, I'm like, wait, that's what I should do for an Instant Pot? What? How does this work? How will this cook? I don't understand. And then I read up more on it, and I'm like, wow, that's not intuitive. So... Okay, alright. Okay, next up, I should probably put stuff on it. I want some onion. I'm gonna have to chop some onion. So... Okay, here's my onion. Cutting board. Knife. Yeah, I hope this setup works well. I was concerned about the new microphone. So I got this microphone from Facebook Marketplace because I had one like nice microphone, which if you guys saw me on the last, not the last Magic stream, but I was looking at using my other microphone because I got some other microphone equipment. But I was like, oh, if I want to use nicer microphones, I don't want to have to bring the same one up and down the stairs, different rooms, different setups. So I was like, all right, let me just see if I can get, and there was somebody selling 2 Blue Yeti microphones. This one's a nano, or like the smaller version of it. And so I was like, oh crap, that just went inside here. Ugh. I just touched the chicken. Okay, there we go. But I was like, all right, let me just see if I could get these 2, and luckily I wasn't sure if they were going to work, because, you know, when you get things on Facebook Marketplace, but they both worked, and I'm like, all right, sweet. The only thing I was missing was an extra cable. I searched through my cables and I found some, but I went to see if anybody else had an extra one, and lo and behold, somebody in my local community had one, so I was able to get that yesterday. So now I have enough cables for all of my microphones. And one thing I'm playing around with doing this week, it'll probably have to be during the day, so But I want to try using the microphones, and I might do a music stream because I feel like maybe singing karaoke. I haven't sung karaoke in a long time, and it probably won't be the same because I have like microphone set up downstairs, but it'll probably just be the stream version. But yeah, for anybody who didn't know, I like singing. I like to sing as well. Ooh, this one has a little bit of a bad part of the onion. Okay, let's see how bad this is. Okay, so these are probably okay. So if you guys can't tell, this is actually like discolored underneath this layer here. So actually this entire thing is probably not good. Although surprisingly this made it, so I think that's probably okay. I'd use this. Okay. Let's chop some of these. The one thing I would say, if you are going to be cooking, the one skill you should probably get for sure is your knife cutting skills. Chopping. Making sure you do it A, safely, and B, that you know how to cut various things in a safe way. Some people will cut an onion like this, and that's okay if you can hold this still. If it happens to be on this rounded edge, that's very dangerous if you're not used to holding it that way, or you have a very good reason on keeping the orbital cut. The orbital cut is when you cut it like this, because it's like an orbit. So the way that I'll normally cut is cut this in half, just all the way down, and then have it rest on the flat side. So it'll basically look like this, and then I'll cut it like that. So, but if you just end up being careful, you can cut it however you want, but just be careful. So now I'm just making these kind of small chunks. They don't have to be tiny, but you can't see what I'm doing. Also, there's two techniques I'm using. So I'm rocking the knife up and down, and then also I'm not pressing down usually ever. I'm running the knife forward and backward. So and it doesn't matter how confident you get around knives, just always take precautions. So always be like, alright, today could be the day that I'm going to get cut if I don't pay attention. Okay, so the question is, do I want any more onion than this? Yeah, I think so. A little bit, not too much though. Okay, I will take one orbital cut from this. So you see what I was doing there? I was like rocking it back and forth, and then I either push or pull at the end to cut. So. But yeah, the reason why you need good cutting skills is that basically fresh things you will basically have to cut all the time. So that's the reason. Okay, I think this is probably good. Okay, I'm going to place these on top of the chicken in the Instant Pot. Now, the reason why they say not to mix things into the water yet is that there needs to be enough water to create the steam to increase the pressure in the Instant Pot. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pressure cooking. So it might look like we're putting this like in like a rice cooker, but think of like this as a rice cooker on steroids. And so rice in a rice cooker, it steams it, and I don't know, it takes maybe 20 minutes of cooking time. The actual quote-unquote cooking time of this is very little because there's a bunch of time that it uses to increase the pressure, and then there's a bunch of time to dissipate the pressure. We can dissipate the pressure two ways. We could do it fast or slow. For this recipe, because there's chicken in here, we're going to be doing it slow, but I'll quickly show you a thing later when we end up, if you do it fast, what'll happen. And if I forget, remind me. Okay. So let me just clear some of this. The one awesome thing about Instant Pot recipes is that you can throw everything inside of the pot. So let me... Okay, now that I kind of have both hands again, I can actually tilt... Let me see, can I tilt this a little bit? Yeah, okay. There we go there. There we go here. Okay. Alright, you can certainly see that better now, right? All right, next we're gonna add some flavor. I had some, let me see here. So I'm gonna be putting some flavorings on top, and for dry powder mix, I'm gonna try and keep it on top of the chicken and the onion. So I'm not gonna put it in the water, and I'm not gonna stir it. I also have this leftover kind of like, it was like maybe tomato soup broth is probably the best way to describe it. So I'm actually just gonna drizzle this all over the whole thing. Oh god, I wanted to keep that as much of a pile as possible, but oh what. Yeah, I'll just put the whole thing in there, that's fine. The other thing is like using your leftovers and things. So I usually try and keep as many food leftovers as I can, because then I end up improvising with it. Half the things that you guys see as food on my Instagram are always like things that I made, but I have to use up this food. So that's basically what that is. Okay, next we're gonna add some. Okay, we're gonna try this. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I was like, I saw it and I'm like, let me try it. So we're gonna make, we're gonna use Taco Bell original taco seasoning mix on this. So we're gonna go ahead and dump this just right on top of, I'm gonna try and get it to kind of sit on top of the chicken and the onions. Okay, there we go. Do I want anything else? I mean, at this point, this is the time to add it, so. Let's put a little bit of ground cumin in there. Put a little bit of cayenne. Alright, that should be... I don't want to make it like too spicy. I also noticed that when you're making things in the Instant Pot, adding more spice is probably better because the pressure will just kind of drive some of the flavors deep inside and they get locked away. So even when you bite it and chew it, it oftentimes doesn't always manifest an additional flavor. So you do have to take that into account. But what will happen is this thing is going to build up to extremely high pressure. And then it will stay cooking at that high pressure for like a while. All right, so here's where we're gonna check. So let me see, cook time. So I think for the beans to get soft, I want it to be like 35 to 40 minutes. All right, maybe we're just gonna forego the corn because the corn I was gonna use was frozen corn and they will get obliterated, I think, in that amount of time. So, let's see here. No soak to right. All right. Hopefully that's enough water and liquid. And then the chicken is going to get. Okay. So we're gonna go with 37 minutes of cook time. All right. So here we go. I place this on. I'm gonna lock it in place. I'll move the camera in a second. So now, at this point, I'm going to turn this on, pressure cook, and let me see, is there, how long is that? That's a meat stew. Okay, no, I just want to pressure cook. Oh, poultry? 10. Oh, but I don't know if this is pressure cook. I assume these are all pressure cook, but alright, I'll just pressure cook for what I said I was going to do. So, what did I say? 37 minutes. Okay, 37. So this will probably take about an hour, I'm guessing, because we'll need some time to get up to temp. There's this nifty little switch right here. Actually, you might not be able to see that. Right here. And so this switch opens up this valve. So right now it's closed and steam won't be able to escape. If I pull this, that will allow the pressure to basically come out through that hole. All right, so here we go. We are starting pressure cook. That's closed. This is locked. We put all the stuff in there. Okay, all right. So we're gonna end up leaving that for a bit. But we're gonna do some other stuff. Let me clear some stuff over here, and then I'm gonna move this aside, and then we will be able to do some more cooking. So let me just grab a couple of these things, put them away. Let's see, moving this aside. Mostly want it aside because we're going to use this space, and also the microphone is over here. I don't want it to be kind of covered by this thing, so. And I don't want to accidentally press anything. Okay, all right. Let's see. Next up, let's find a container for this onion. Yeah, when I don't use ingredients right away, I kind of just store them. I put them like in a thing, put them back in the fridge, you know, whatever works. I'm a huge fan of not throwing away food if I don't have to. But also, there's times where it's like, this is not worth the risk. You do not want to get food poisoning. That is not good. Okay. All right. Let me make sure that my chat was scrolling. All right, cool. All right, let me see. Did I miss anything in chat? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, cool. Hopefully everybody's doing fine. Hopefully everybody's doing good. What is everybody up to today, if anything? I feel like it is a nondescript Tuesday. There was a Super Bowl. Oh, I guess I streamed after it, right? Because it was on Sunday. Full disclosure, I did not watch it. Oh, I just realized if I bring this over here, I don't have an outlet for something. Oh man. I've never had to deal with this predicament before. I could unplug, so I have, let me see. How do I want to deal with this? I'm trying to think, where do I have, because I was thinking about playing music on this later that would unplug this. I did not think this through. Okay, I'm trying to think where in my house do I have extension cords, because I could just grab one for just for today, and then we can figure this out another time. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna run downstairs really quick. I'm pretty sure I have an extension cord down there. Be right back. Within earshot, let me see here. Hopefully this doesn't disrupt this stream. Sorry. Okay, doing that, doing this, doing this, doing this. Okay. Alright. Are we still streaming? We didn't lose the stream, right? Okay, because I unplugged my laptop to plug it into a power strip. So the power strip is behind the laptop over there. And now, does this reach, or will I need slightly different? Need more. Hang on. We're going to get very close and intimate right here, guys. Very close. Oh man, it is just... I was hoping not to have to do this. I have a heavy duty extension cord. So we can use this. Alright. I'll have a better solution for next time. Okay. Plugging this in. Plugging this in. Okay. I think we are safely plugged in. And can I turn this on? No. Why? Oh, this turned itself off. There we go. Now it's on. Okay. Alright. Alright, good. Okay, there we go. That'll work. Oh, the fan is probably going to be really loud on the microphone, though. Let me turn it this way. Can I move my mic? The worst part about this situation is that I have all the nice equipment to make sure, but it's like all in the way. Okay. How's this? Is this audio still okay? I'm hoping the audio is still okay. I can make the fan go that way. Okay. We can go with that. Okay. Made some breakfast soup in this pot earlier, so we're just gonna reuse some of the flavors from it. Okay, so what I'm doing now is that I am going to be... Oh, that might not be safe. I had some leftover chicken mix and rice from the last few days, and I'm just gonna mix them all so we can just have some nice rice with our chicken. I suppose this will be done really fast comparatively, so we'll see how that's going. Alright, if anybody's been sitting around, you've not hydrated in a bit, I'm going to be having some of my tea. Let me see. Here we go. So yeah, I'm going to be having some tea. This is Earl Grey. I was in the mood because we were talking about Star Trek last Magic stream. Okay. Alright, let me place this over here. Okay, here's my leftovers. Oh yeah, let's switch back. Okay. Make sure we get all those flavors just mixed around in there. And I'm going to be grabbing the rest of this chicken. It's not that much. This could just be like slightly less than one meal's worth of stuff. But I think this chicken mix might have actually been made a week ago, so it's kind of at that time where it's like, it's a little risky if you were to just eat it microwaving it, but I feel way more comfortable eating it if I just recook it. So for anybody who didn't know, there's a lot of bacteria and things that can grow on food, but a lot of the toxins that they create get inactivated actually at the high temperatures of cooking as well. So worst case scenario, you can at least mitigate that. That being said, there are things that will not get inactivated or will not get safe even if you cook it at high temperature, and those are the things that cause really bad food poisoning, or the things that you don't cook well enough again if needed. Okay, next I'm going to toss in the remainder of this brown rice. So I made a batch of brown rice as well, but that is not enough rice to be proportional with the amount of chicken mix left. So we are now going to be mixing some leftover white rice. This is newer. And because I'm not dumping in the whole thing, we're just going to get a spoon to dole it out. So boom. You know, I might just eat this before the tacos. You know, one thing I could do with this camera, which is something I did before, was put it on the chair. Because I can see right now, it's not, like, angled nicely to see into the pot. Alright. Okay, so this is, like, boiling a little bit, but if I need to stall for time, I can just bring it below boiling. Just for a second. Okay, let's see how we're going to do this. Moving the chair. Lifting the camera. I have to bring the camera down for safety. how's that? That's better? You can see inside? Okay. Alright, cool. Okay, so this thing is pressurizing. I don't know if you might not be able to see the steam that's coming out of this, but that's very hot. You never want to put anything close to that you don't want to get like extremely hot and sterilized. But this is going to click in probably a minute, and then the actual pressure cooking will start. Oh, there's actually something else I wanted to add to this. And then we'll talk about a bit more about this. Okay, so that just clicked, so the steam stopped coming out. And what it's doing now is that it's cooking at a very high pressure, and that will get like the water into the dry beans. That will get the water and the liquid into all of the like chicken, in between all the chicken fibers, and so that's why it'll be easy to like rip apart later. But because it's high pressure right now, it's locked mechanically. I won't be able to unlock it by turning this. And if I open this, it'll release steam really fast from this valve. Okay, so the timer started, so now it's going to cook at this temperature, at this pressure, for 37 minutes. So we're going to have to kill 37 minutes of cook time. I have some leftover dal. It was actually from my last batch of dal, and I discovered that it would give me gout attacks if I had too much all at once. And so I froze most of it. So I unfroze it, but instead of eating it all at once, I'm doling it out slowly. I feel like lentils are still a very healthy thing, beans are still a healthy thing, but I just can't have as much dal all at once, or for multiple meals in one day. So, alright. Now, I remember what spices I put into this. I remember what spices I put in my chicken mix. But otherwise, it's not. This might taste a little bland, so we're going to add a little bit of spice to this. Okay, let me start with some red chili flakes. I like a little bit of spice. A little bit of chili powder. This is dark chili powder. Salt. This is basil. And some dried chives. Alright, mix this around. I did bring it below boiling, so it might not reduce a little bit more. It would be okay, but I think I want it to reduce just slightly more. So. The thing is, we've got a lot of time, so I don't have to like rush this step. Unless I needed to use this burner for something else. I technically have a stove, but it's gas, and I've been trying to not use the gas stove. I only have one oven, and it is a gas oven as well, so we end up just having to use the gas oven when we need to. Okay, alright. I think this is all up to like safe temperatures at least, and everything's mixing around. It's got good color. Put it in this bowl afterwards, right here. And then let's see. Okay, it's starting to reduce pretty well, so I'm just going to turn down the heat slightly. I'm just trying to avoid the burning at the bottom of the pot. I just realized I don't have any tomatoes for my tacos, so we'll just have to improvise without them. That's okay. That's okay. Alright, so this is leftover rice and all the things. Sometimes you would be surprised at how good some things taste if you just mixed a bunch of leftovers together. Some people are not into that. I can kind of understand, but from a guy who doesn't like to waste food and likes to cook and, you know, deals with... You get really interesting surprises sometimes. Okay. So this is what this came out looking like here. And how I'll dress it up a little bit. I guess they call it plating in the professional cooking world. I usually just sprinkle a couple other things on it, and then I call it a day. And then I take the picture. Make sure that whatever I sprinkle on it, it's visual enough. And then when I take a picture, I normally take like 3 or 4. Then I choose the best one. Okay, let's go ahead and I think there's some okay lighting right there. Let's give that a try. You know what? I'm just going to turn on the overhead light. I know this is kind of like a weird cop-out because I did not actually make this on stream. This is just a combination of a bunch of other things that I've made off stream. But, you know, if you're wondering how some of the meals get made, this is how some of the meals get made. Like, I know I post a lot of food pictures to my Instagram. Which, by the way, I was trying to post magic tricks on Instagram, and it's so dumb because if I want to use music, like music that Instagram has, I have to upload it from my phone. I can't upload it from my computer. But I basically do everything like for my magic on my computer, so I don't understand. Look, I can do it on TikTok, so why can't I do it on Instagram? Right? Okay. So alright, I don't want to eat all of this. I do want to save some for that. But let's give this a taste and see how it goes. Let me switch back to up here for a second. Oh, actually, let me share that picture to Discord. Right now. Let's see. Nope, not here. Food and drink. Okay. Actually, I should call it crazy. Leftover mix from stream. Okay. All right, so that's the first thing. All right, let's give this thing a bite. I do want to taste it while it's hot. It may change over time. So let's see. A little bit hot still. Good flavor. There's enough liquid that it's almost like a risotto. So it's not quite like dry. But I almost like if there's like a lot of flavors and spices that the liquid allows it to move around and not really get... Because like when you have dry rice, if the seasonings are not well coated, you can get a clump of like extra spice or extra seasoning on one bite, and then some other ones are bland. So, all right, not bad. Okay. All right, we'll place that aside. And now at this point, because it's fully recooked, even if it gets cold, I'm okay with microwaving it because I know that everything is relatively safe at this point. Okay. So, we've got to kill some time. So what else do I make? Well, because I made that chicken mix, I have to make more chicken mix. Because my wife likes it. Will it take... well, I've got effectively 50 minutes, because I think the deep pressure will take at least 10. Yeah, we can do that. I was gonna do that tomorrow, but I'm like, I have this set up. I have to kill some time. You guys will see me make some more of that mix, like kind of, not from scratch, but like, you know what I mean. Oh, actually, do I have enough chicken? Do I have ground chicken available? Not up here. I may have to run down to my chest freezer. And I probably want to do that first because I'm going to have to find a way to defrost it. It's probably just, I should probably just open it and then defrost it in the microwave. Okay. And then in the interim, I can chop stuff. And then I can use canned beans. Still have canned beans to use. We have to use them as well. Okay, let me grab some things right here first. So here's some of the, oh, you guys can't see this. Okay. All right, so yeah, we'll be cooking on this. So I have, this is probably my hair. There's some corn here. scratched myself on my refrigerator door. I'm okay. My kid is at the point where she's also saying, like, I'm okay after, like, a loud noise or something. Because we ask her enough where it's like, are you okay? Okay, I'm going to go run down to my chest freezer and grab some ground chicken. And we'll go from there. Okay. Ground chicken. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to remove it from the plastic and then I'm going to put it on a microwave safe plate and we're going to defrost it. Felden King, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Greatly appreciate it. You didn't have to, Todd. Thank you kindly. Okay, so this is a little bit frozen to the package. We're just going to run it under some water, some hot water. Okay, was that enough to loosen it up? Yes? Okay, so here's kind of what I did. I took off the plastic wrap on the other side. I put this so that the plate is on the bottom. I ran hot water, and then I was able to easily pop it out. This is still a frozen block though, so pop that into here. Defrost a 1 pound thing. And then I'm gonna get a big cooking pan. My big cooking pan. There we go. You're welcome, sir. Thank you kindly, Todd. I'm going to preemptively open up the black beans. So now these are open, and depending on if you want to use the liquid with the beans, some people hate the taste. Some people like it. People who make chili will sometimes swear by it. Other people who use it for alternative things, so for example, egg whites. If you need a vegan solution for egg whites, typically this bean liquid will work. The name, it's a funny name. It's called aquafaba. And when I first heard that, I'm like, what is that? It's like, it's related to beans. And I'm like, how the hell is aquafaba related to beans? And it's like, aqua is water. It's like, oh, the water that the beans were sitting. Oh, okay. Makes sense. But anyway, so yeah, the first thing I want to do now is, I need to chop more onion, so. Okay, let's pull out the cutting board again. Oh no, you guys won't be able to see anything. Well, this part isn't that important right now, so let me slide this out of the way. Here we go. Okay, pulling back our onion again. I'm gonna go ahead and, actually I can show you the technique I was talking about. So I'll cut it this way. can safely cut the onion this way and it won't roll around. So, but what I like to do is do this. It'll kind of pre-cut. I also don't need to cut this way. Some people do that and I'm like, that seems dangerous. But also because each of the layers of the onion already will naturally separate if you just like squeeze it or break into it. So I don't find that it's necessary unless you need to control like the size of your onion bits. So I do this, then I do this. Oh, hold on, I gotta flip the defrosting chicken. Where's my tongs? Did I already put those away? I did. Flipping the 1 pound ground chicken, flipping it over, putting it back in, continuing the defrost. Okay. Where were we? Oh yes, we were going to chop this onion in this manner. And I did get a little bit of a deep cut there by accident. So some of those pieces will be a little bit bigger, but that's okay. That could have been bad. So the one danger, the multiple danger that you can get is because these onion pieces could slide off. So something that you might want to do is, if you feel like that could happen, push aside. I just pushed aside all the pieces that might slide off. I'm going to continue cutting it, and then I'll cut these pieces separate later. You just want to avoid. And the other thing is, like, when you cut, go slow, and if your knife, if you have to push like really hard, like put a lot of pressure on it, your knife is not sharp enough. And so you'll avoid injury if you have a sharper knife. It kind of is counterintuitive, but so obviously if a knife is sharper, it might cut you more, right? But if you can cut through other things, you won't have to apply as much pressure. You don't have to put yourself in more like dangerous situations. And at that point, you just have to like learn how to control a knife better, and it'll all be fine. Okay, so now I have chopped the majority of it. I'm just gonna tear off this bit. Actually, we're gonna cut off. Some of these don't look very good either. Okay, we'll chop this. The other cool thing about an Instant Pot is that the Instant Pot has a saute mode, and you can leave the top off. If you hit saute and cook, you can basically use the inner part of the pot as like another burner. And I was like, wow, that's super cool. But the intent behind that is that you can cook things in the Instant Pot in the pot, and then when it's done, you can then close it up and then pressure cook with whatever was in there. So you can basically take up all the fond or the little Maillard bits, and you don't have to manually deglaze like chefs. Deglazing is basically when like a chef puts water, wine, broth onto like the bottom of a hot pan so that it gets all of that flavor up. But yeah. And so I was like, wow, that's brilliant and super convenient. So I'll have to give it to Instant Pot, like, for coming up with that. That's a great idea. Bert, welcome in. How's it going, Gibson Lens? How are you doing today? Good to see you. The birthday lie. I mean, yeah, we're not making a cake. I mean, look, it's not a lie, right? I definitely put in the title, it's my birthday, and then in parentheses, later this week. So yeah, if anybody didn't know, I celebrated a big birthday last year, but I didn't do anything. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to celebrate all week this week. So I actually started last night. I went out to hang out with a magician friend. He actually had a magic product on order for me, so I also picked it up. But hung out with him. I actually showed some magic tricks to some people that came to see magic tricks from him. Actually, one of the servers came over and asked him, hey, do you have like a YouTube channel or something? And I was right there, and I'm like, and he was like, yeah, no, I don't really have a YouTube channel. Like, he has one. He has like 3 videos or something on it. No, maybe 8 videos. I don't know. I don't remember. But I was like, hey, I do magic, and I have a YouTube channel, and I gave her a business card to give to the people who were asking. And I was like, yeah, that's sweet. So hopefully I get some more viewers just because of that. Gibson Land says, I'm doing alright. Well, glad to hear that you're doing alright. Yeah, by the way, super fun stream last night, catching up with a bunch of movies. Okay, the chicken should be defrosted now. Okay, so we have chicken, onions, beans. Alright, that's basically all we need to get started. Alright, so I'm going to put the pan on here. We'll set this at some acceptable temperature. Alright. I'm just going to put aside some of these things so that I have some working space right here. There we go. And we will start with cooking the onions. Some people are a fan of using fat. I like to use bacon fat, but I know that my wife doesn't like the bacon fat as much, so we're just going to use some olive oil. Add the salt to get ready. And something to mash up the chicken with. But anyway, yeah. So Bart, if you're still here, you were mentioning you had a lot of songs. So a long time ago, when I first started hanging out in Gibson Lens's stream, I was just like, I remember like the first few interactions, because I was basically trolling him, and I was like asking, oh hey, you want to play like Creep by Radiohead? And like he didn't have any Radiohead songs on the song list. Oh yeah, thanks for giving Bert a shout out, Feldon. But after a while, I hung out and I'm like, wow, he's really good at piano. And so I started just requesting tricks, like, it's not tricks. I started requesting songs that were just like, he hadn't played in a while. So for a long time, I was like QA, because I would request all the songs that hadn't been played in the longest amount of time. And we used to talk about like 3-month songs, so songs that like Gibson Lens hadn't played in 3 months, being like really old. And now it's like, but back then, I think Gibson Lens was streaming like twice a week, and he did not do movie reviews. And so now, yeah, Gibson Lens streaming once a week and doing movie reviews. And I love the movie reviews. So, yeah. So unless Bert, if you end up wanting to do like a crazy stream where you do as many songs as you can fit as fast as possible, like me a la Trick List, I think catching up will require probably more stream. I'm guessing. So, alright, I think this is hot enough now. Let's go ahead and toss in onions. It will make a lot of sizzle, but it's okay. Bert says, I need to do fewer movie reviews and play more songs to catch up. Yeah, the other thing you could do is, if you want to prep your movie review ahead of time, instead of like coming up with the review like and talking about the plot all at once, just kind of script it and then just like go through it quick is another way. But that's up to you. I mean, I'm just throwing ideas out there. Brainstorming. Let's see. Bart says, a few bonus streams to catch up isn't a bad idea. Not sure when they can happen. Been busy lately. Yeah. That too. The other thing is you could just be okay with just having songs that you haven't played in a long time. That's the other thing. If you're just okay with accepting that. Yeah, I was wondering what'll happen if I continue to add tricks to my trick list and I like... Because like, if I add 20 tricks to the trick list, I'll have 100, and so that would probably mean a stream would have to be about 5.5 hours for me to do the entire trick list. So as my trick list grows, I think the likelihood that I'll be able to do every single one on one stream, the probability gets lower because I have to make that stream longer. Let's see. Todd says, could always rewatch your favorites while you play catch-up. Yeah, when I was doing my every single trick on the trick list, I did arrange it so that not all of the hard tricks were together and not all the easy tricks were together. I tried to split it up. And then I tried to split it. I'm like, I didn't do all of the tricks that I love to do all at once or all together because I was like, let me spread it out so I had some motivation like throughout each part of my stream. So yeah. So somebody could do like, Bert, you could do like a, if you have songs in there that you hate, spread them out. Same thing with the songs that you love, spread them out. Okay. Alright. I think I'm almost ready to add the chicken. Oh, let me just make sure that this is at least soft in the middle. I know I defrosted it for a bit. Okay, there's still like frozen bits, but it's not frozen solid. We can work with this. This is very workable. Actually, let me just pre-cut it with the spatula here really quick. So the heat transfer will work out nicely. Oh, for anybody who heard that I was making an Android app, I think I basically finished up all the major functionality that I wanted to put in the app last night. So that was super exciting. I'm like, yes, I finally did it. So right now all I'm doing is like quibbling over minor UI or graphical things for some usability. And then I'm going to present it to my friend tomorrow because we're having lunch. And then hopefully he can use it for his kids' vocabulary. Which, if you weren't here for the story was he has a kid, 2 years old, has hyperlexia, and the kid reads better than my 4-year-old kid, but he couldn't speak that much, but they're trying to use words as a way to help him like speak better. And so he just wanted like a simple app, and so I was like, I can make that app. Everybody was like saying, oh, these things already exist, but yeah, they're really like bloated, overloaded. Some of them are just like, for what it does, it opens up really slow. And now that I know how quickly an app can open, I'm like, huh, But I started getting inspired, and I'm like, what other apps can I make that might be valuable to somebody? And actually, one of the ideas that popped up was like, because I'm a content creator, right? And all I do is put all my content ideas in spreadsheets. And that works well for me, but I'm sure that not everybody is into spreadsheets. So I'm like, what if I created an app to help content creators track their ideas and like videos, and like, I think that would be a really cool idea. So I'm going to think about that a little bit, maybe come up with some initial ideas and see if it's worth it. Maybe do some research to see if there's a demand for that out there. But if anybody that's in chat, if you have content creator vibes or ideas, like how do you keep track of them? Do you think something like this could be valuable for you? And if so, are there any things that the app must have? That would be really, really good to know. Andres 000100. Are you a developer? Yes. So yeah, Andres, if you didn't know, I lost my full-time employment last year, and I'm a software engineer by profession. And but in the meantime, well, I was like doing social media, YouTube stuff for a bit, and then now, just like a couple weeks ago, I started writing an Android app just because I was like, so my tech stack that I'm familiar with is the Microsoft tech stack, but I haven't done much with like app creation, and I'm like, this seems like a fun skill, I should probably try and learn how to do it. And then I created an app. I mostly vibe coded it, but actually I'm learning a lot, and I understand it enough. And I can understand why vibe coding gets a bad rap, because the code that it creates, it usually doesn't have context, and it doesn't architect it well. You just ask it for a thing, it does the thing. And so this is funny. Hold on, let me do this flip, and then let me tell you the story of creating this app, because it was wildly amusing. And if anybody sees any of those jokes on LinkedIn about how vibe coding costs more money, I can now tell you why. Chip, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you so much for the 10 stream streak, Chip. Oh my god, thank you so much. Hi, excuse me, your name sounds familiar. Oh, my name is Nam. Is that me? Oh no, are you asking? Oh, okay. But anyway, so yeah. So I started creating this app. I basically vibe coded it for the first 2 to 3 days, because I'm like, all right, I want this, I want that, I want that, and we basically had like a minimum working prototype basically in less than 3 days, and I learned a lot about like the development environment and everything. So right now I'm developing it in Kotlin, just because I thought that using Android Studio would be like the least sorry, I'm chopping. I would have fewer obstacles in getting the environment set up and getting it deployed to my phone and stuff. Sounds like a great project. Yeah. So, so this project, so it's basically just like a flashcard app. Oh, so this is done cooking. So now we're gonna let the pressure release. If I was to release it very fast, we could destroy the chicken and make it not soft and tender. But it would look something like this. Whoop! Did you guys see that? So we're gonna let it go slow. All right. Cause yeah, the temperature, the pressure differential. Well, anyway. So going back to this app, so I vibe coded this app. I basically had all the functions, but the thing is, it doesn't know how to architect it. It doesn't know how to do anything. So I spent 2 days testing everything and making sure everything worked. I fixed some bugs, but after the last like bug that I was like, okay, this is critical, I was like, okay, now I want to make these changes, and like the code was very spaghetti code. The code did not have any sort of major structure. Everything was inside one file, and I'm like, you know, if I had slightly better foresight, I could have, and now I will, is like I could vibe code and have things structured better. But like, I basically spent 2 days afterwards refactoring the entire thing so that everything was like well organized, readable, maintainable, and into like logical. So like
I had to just break everything up into multiple different parts. But then also, with phones now, right, you have that orientation change, so you might be like in landscape or portrait, and that caused some issues. And so if I didn't refactor, it was just going to be a nightmare to actually be able to deal with different like layouts of the UI and the screen for that. And so doing the refactor was necessary if I wanted to have like a good like layout for either orientation. So I refactored, and now I have clean orientations for most of my screens. I think there's one more thing that I want to do, but it's not necessary if I don't want to do it for tomorrow. But maybe if I decide to, you know, I'm probably going to try and get this on the Android App Store. I have to create like a developer account, and then and I'll probably make this free because it's kind of like a little, but I find that it could be very useful to teach like kids vocabulary words. Like my kid right now, we actually have a bunch of words all over the wall. Actually, let me just take a quick picture of this wall right now. So the wall that's over there just has a bunch of cards with words on it, and we're using sight words to try and get her familiar with like very common words that are used. And I was like, well, I could use my app to help with that. And I'm like, okay, this is great. So it's multi-use. So between my use for that, my friend's use for his kid, I'm like, all right, this will be useful. All right, I'm gonna put the corn in. So the corn is frozen, so I'll put that in. The beans are already soft, so those would just get cooked. So I'm gonna put those in just slightly after this. Let's see. Andre says, sounds like a great job. I also recently lost my job, and I'm an Android developer. Oh, Andres, you're an Android developer? Cool. I'm learning the basics of Android development right now. Yes, I understand. And then, yeah, personally, I like using MVVM and clean code. I feel like it greatly helps scalability. Excellent. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm just like going through the trenches right now. And yeah, I'm learning about like all the layout options. So like the text boxes, the columns, the rows, I'm learning about padding. I'm learning about how to resize things. I'm learning about the standard like library sizings for like title medium, title large, or if it's just like label small, that kind of thing. I'm learning how to, oh yeah, the functionality that I implemented yesterday was, so I had these word lists and they were pre-populated, but if somebody creates their own lists, I was just storing it in the Android like storage area for the app, and if they were to blow away like the installation or delete them, there would be no way to get them back. So I had to create like an export. So I created an export button, exported the lists, zipped up all of the files with all the words in it, and then it would store it outside of the app storage area. So like in your file system basically. And then I made an import button that basically imported all of the words. It's kind of a naive import, so like it'll overwrite if there's like a list of the same name and stuff, but I'm like, this is supposed to be for kids, and I can't imagine anybody being like a power user where they wouldn't be able to just restore whatever list with whatever words that they need. But yeah, so anyway, that was the final piece, because I was like, oh, what if they wanted the same words on like multiple devices and they only made the list on one? And I'm just like, all right, yeah, so we have to have import export. And now I feel like I'm done with like everything that I wanted to get in there. Let's see. Andre says, incredible! I'm so glad. And if you have any questions at any time, I'd be happy to help. All right, thanks, Andres. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, at the moment I am using LLMs to help, but I may, especially because like as I get into more sophisticated app development, like if I create another app or something, I may want to do something different, or I may want to plan it better. But I mean, hopefully my general software engineering skills should help apply. Alright, I don't want all of this aquafaba liquid, but maybe some. Okay, so let's take, let's take this. But I already have an idea for another app, and it actually uses another hobby that and if anybody saw the spreadsheet that I shared on stream during my stream improvement stream, that's a that's a possibility. And then, so this one I'll just see if I can get on the App Store and maybe make it free. But then, if I do another one, I want to price it as something, because then I want to know how all that pricing stuff works. And the costs, I think, what does Android take? Google takes like a 30% cut of like apps or something. Oh yeah, so I needed the aquafaba in here because I was going to add some liquid anyway, but I'm now going to be adding flavorings. Okay, so for anybody who knows that when I have ramen, I always save all of the packets, because I'll sometimes just make a double batch of noodles for the same. So we're adding 1 packet of chicken. We're adding 1 packet of masala seasoning from a different kind of noodles. If anybody's ever had Maggi noodles, this is Maggi noodle seasoning. Actually, I'm going to turn down the heat just for a second. We're going to add some more of that dal that I had earlier. Let's see. Andres asks, excuse me, if I'm not being too nosy, what do you do at your job? Do you develop websites? Oh, yeah, so before I became unemployed last year, I was a back-end software developer. And I worked in the Microsoft stack. I worked at a company in the restaurant space, and I worked on payment systems. So I helped manage and develop payment integrations, like anti-fraud stuff, so fraud mitigation. I had a spoon. Where did I put the spoon? All right, we'll get a new spoon. But yeah, that was what I was doing before. Before being unemployed. Before that, I worked at an e-commerce website for nerdy, geeky products, collectible card games. So, actually, I might have a shirt. So my shirt that I'm wearing underneath was not from my latest company, but the company before that. But if you played collectible card games, you'll probably have heard of this company. Okay, so this is chicken mix with chicken ramen flavored with beans, with corn, onions, and Maggi noodles and dal. I might want to add a little bit more flavoring to this in a minute, but we'll see how it looks and tastes. If anybody ever has any doubts about whether something tastes good or not after you get it all mixed, give it a taste test. Let's see here. Andre, it sounds incredible, but feels like a wizard developer is even more incredible. Yeah, I'm also into sleight of hand magic. So I don't know if you've seen me stream magic streams before, but normally I do my sleight of hand Sunday streams on Sunday nights, and I will perform magic tricks. Mostly card tricks. I do some coin tricks, but I like sleight of hand, so I enjoy sharing that. But because of my full-time unemployment, I started trying to get magic gigs last year. And so I made business cards, I put myself out there, I signed up for Gig Salad, and so now I can get magic gigs as a magician. Then earlier last month, I started putting up magic tricks on LinkedIn. And so I showed the graph of what it looked like, and because I didn't really post much on LinkedIn before, And then I'm like, you know, let's see how this goes. And I've got a lot of engagement. Actually, I think a recruiter reached out to me yesterday just to see if I would be a good fit for something. So we'll see how that goes. I did apply to, I don't know, like half a dozen jobs yesterday. But yeah, it's unemployment is real. It is crazy right now. I mean, maybe not in the world, but like in tech, it's kind of bizarre. It would be amazing to connect on LinkedIn. Yeah, if you... Hold on, where would the... Oh, if you jump in my Discord, I don't know if you use Discord, but... Oh, thanks for... Thanks, Todd. Todd is also a software developer. Yeah, if you hop in my Discord, I have a social media channel, and in that, if you scroll up, you'll find my LinkedIn, I believe. I'll double check. And if it's not there, I will put it there. I'm pretty sure I have a LinkedIn post in there, though. We're going to check right now. Hold on. Boom. Social media. Yeah, so if you just scroll up like 3 posts in my social media channel in my Discord, there's one that it's my first LinkedIn one. I know where you are from, Jinjin Dream. Oh, Jinjin Stream. Oh, okay, yeah. I've hung out in Jinjin TV stream before. Maybe not as much as Felden Kane, but yeah, I think when I come in, sometimes Jinjin calls me Magic Man or Magician. So she knows who I am. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I just heard this pop. So now the pressure should be equalized. So even if I flip the switch, no steam comes out. So now it should be safe to open. But before we do that, and it's okay if it goes a little bit longer because it's done cooking. Okay, I'm just going to quickly taste this. If everything is fine, I think we can take this off the heat and then we can focus on this and get all the fixings prepped for said tacos. And we'll go from there. Alright, here we go. Oh, thanks for shouting out Jinjin TV. Yeah, guys, you're not following Jinjin. I believe Felden Kane attributes the reason why he streams to Jinjin. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. I think that's good. It's a little bit more liquidy than I want, so I'm just gonna increase the heat. We'll reduce this a little bit more, and then we'll call this done. Andre says, "Me too. I just found out you're a developer too. That's incredible." Yeah. And Felden Kane says, "It's just a fact. She's the whole reason." That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know, like, I think deep down inside, because I had a YouTube channel, I was always, like, interested in, like, creating content and broadcasting myself in that thing. But when I first was streaming, I'm like, I need to make myself stand out, and doing Magic made me stand out, but because nobody knows, or there's not, like, a demand for Magic content on Twitch, right, so. But you know what? I found that there's just more people just doing everything, and I'm like, alright, I can do more stuff. And so now I do cooking streams. Now I like to do, you know, I'm getting more, I'm becoming more of a fan of just doing just chatting streams. because especially the other day when I did productive stuff for the stream on a just chatting stream, I'm like, yo, I got stuff done. I feel like I was more productive than even when I did productivity streams, which some people do, but I was like, that's not... So maybe if I do like productivity streams, maybe I'll just make it just chatting, because I don't know. I don't know what the difference was, but all right, cool. I think this is. We'll want to reduce it a little bit more. Still a little bit too liquidy. We'll give that a minute. Todd says, I had no intention of streaming, but followed everyone who got shouted out by her bot to be nice, and then enough of them followed me back, and I was practically an affiliate. Yeah, so when did I become affiliate? I think I became affiliate like after streaming for some months back in 2022, right? Because like I had to work at it, but it was actually before. I think they made it slightly easier to be an affiliate, which, by the way, this does not diminutize the effort that anybody who streams. But yeah, I think I needed like 50 followers, and they might have dropped that to like 30, 25. I don't remember, because it all happened afterwards. Like once you become an affiliate, it's like you really have to not stream for a very long time, I think, to drop out and not be an affiliate anymore. So they dropped it down to 25. Ah, yes. Okay. Cool. And I think I also made you through Keyboard Grinder. Oh yeah. Yeah, and Andres, I think I don't know if you were first-time chatter here, but I think I've seen your name before. I just didn't know, I didn't know anything about you. And I don't think, Andres, you're not a streamer, right? But, yeah, so, yeah, Todd said they dropped it down 25, and it's like 50 before you can get assigned VIPs. Ah, okay, that's interesting, cool. Andres says no. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I've probably seen your name around, and I was generally familiar, but... Yeah, I try and follow other streamers just because I want to support them, and I haven't reached my 2,000 follow limit yet, so... Alright, we're going to cut the heat, and then I think this is good. We will... I'm just going to scoop the edges, because I hate scraping the edges later. So if you do it now, you'll get all that good, the flavor goodness into the mix. Okay, there we go. Okay, pop this off to the side. Alright, let's go ahead and move some things around here. Okay. Yeah, so actually I don't know what you guys do. So Andres or Felden Kane, what kind of developers were you in the past? What did you guys do? Front end, back end, tech stacks? I don't know, curious. The only person that I think know the developer stuff is Gibson Lens, because Gibson Lens is a game developer for Double Fine. So, video game developer for Gibson Lens. Okay, first we're going to grab a plate for tacos. Next, we're going to grab my nifty taco holder. See, Todd says, I do full stack. Most of my professional work is for a web database, but I also have dabbled into games and modding. Awesome, yeah. That sounds cool. I used to be a fan of, doing custom games with various games that had like engines that allow you to do that. And things like modded, like for example, one of the games that I really like is called FTL. And there was this gigantic mod that I discovered many years later. Actually, I discovered it, I think, last year because of Bert the Wayfarer, actually. And he was like, yeah, this is a free mod for FTL, and it's called, like, FTL Multiverse, and it makes the game, like, 5 times bigger. And we're like, this is insane. But Andre says, developing Android front-end applications with transactions, biometric, and API integrations, I think technically it's front-end work, haha. I mean, I almost think that people will categorize app development separately. So even though it is, effectively front-end, but like I think people will categorize it as mobile development, basically. All right, I'm gonna take a bite of this. Hey, bought some fresh flour tortillas yesterday. So for anybody who has street tacos, usually there's 2 of these per taco because if one rips. I'm here in my house, and I won't overflow them. I think these are pretty... actually, they're not corn tortillas, so they shouldn't rip as much. So let's go ahead and make 3 of these. Let's see. Andre says, sounds incredible to Todd's full stack. And then Todd says, it's front-end mobile development. Todd says, happy to help you or anyone if it has any questions. I've also taught programming for almost 25 years. That's cool. I think the extent of my teaching of programming was it was not even a formal tutor, but I basically sat down with some people who were had programming classes in college. Did it 2 or 3 times probably. Got them over the basics, and that's probably the extent of what I could what I taught. Okay, the only other thing I'm going to need, let me see here. Ooh, sorry, I'm off camera, but I had to grab some things. We're grabbing the fixings. Unfortunately, I don't have any fresh cheese that I can shred, so we're going to have to use pre-shredded cheese. I know, it's a travesty, but it happens. What are you going to do? I also like to put spinach on my tacos, so I'm probably jumping the gun. I should probably open this. But I have my sour cream, I have some guacamole, so those would be good there too. The Rusty Panda, welcome in. How's it going? Good to see you. How are you doing, the Rusty Panda? Andre says, Felden, I'd like to respectfully ask your opinion on Vibe code from your experience. I understand you're a senior developer and it's not too much trouble or controversy. I'd like to know what a senior developer thinks about it. Guys, if you're not following our friend the Rusty Panda, please give the Rusty Panda a follow. The Rusty Panda, musician, composer, singer, also does interview streams called Wiki Wednesdays. So definitely give the Rusty Panda a follow. Alright guys. Okay, I'm going to slide the Instant Pot over now. So you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to get 2 forks. Here we are. Now, the moment of truth. Was the food that we cooked going to be good? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now at this point, this is where we should shred and mix and get everything all well, getting to know each other. So as we can see, everything kind of stayed separated into their things. But now, let's see. Did this... Oh, look at this. Oh, I don't think this is going to do it justice. Hang on. Can I lean you... Oh, hold on. I'm leaning you over the chair. Hold on. Let me just move the line. Okay. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay, alright, okay. I'm literally leaning the webcam over the chair on the tripod. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you guys can tell. Look at how easily this shreds. This is like pulled chicken without needing to pull, really. I mean, I'm providing no... I'm just literally putting it down and just moving it. I'm just doing this, basically. And it is shredding like nobody's business. Alright, my one current lament is that maybe I put in too much water. But I needed the beans to get soft. The beans are certainly very soft, so... Or maybe once I shred, that'll consume a lot of this, and maybe we'll be okay. So here we go. Shred. And sometimes I haven't shredded all the way and just kind of like left chunks so then the whoever's consuming the meal can shred. But other times, like right now, also I'll just shred everything because it's already in the pot. It'll still get mixed in with all the juices and the spices and everything. So look at that, barely any effort. So some people who have done something like this before, they might smoke chicken, and so this is kind of like pulled smoked chicken, but it's not smoked. Obviously, it's cooked in the Instant Pot. So okay. So now let's give this a good mix. Make sure the beans and the chicken all get some nice coatings. And yeah, I will say probably slightly too much water, but it's okay. So yeah, this is why I'm a little bit new to Instant Pot cooking, so it's getting like the ratios correct. Like you don't want too little because then it'll burn because it doesn't have enough to create the steam and the pressure, but you don't want too much because then you get something. I mean, at least it's not like, you know, swimming in it. It's low enough. Okay, what's everybody saying here? Andre says, I'd like to comment and clarify when I ask, because I usually do live coding until a few days ago and decided to practice my programming logic. I really appreciate your opinion, Felden. Oh, okay. Let's see. I feel like it has its uses, but it's not a replacement for a skilled developer. Unfortunately, it mostly acts as a barrier for entry-level work. I'm not sure it's a net positive for the companies using it. Definitely not a net positive for the economy as a whole. Oh, yeah. So we mentioned this earlier. So I vibe coded the app, but as I mentioned, like the first 3 days I vibe coded, got everything like working. And then I'm like, I want to make some changes now. I did a testing for a couple days. And then it came to be like, I need to do some like real development because I had to then restructure stuff. I needed like, nothing was organized, nothing was anything. And I'm like, it could not, Gen AI could not organize or architect it. And so I had to just basically refactor everything myself to basically have it set the way that makes sense. But yeah, so I can see where the cost, if somebody was to use LLMs to create code that then gets put into production, they say that the amount of time saved in development ends up getting spent in testing, in redesign, and debugging. And I'm like, I understand why now. Like that makes a perfect sense. So you still do need skilled developers to basically architect and engineer and debug and all of those things at the same time. And all of those cost time, right? All of those cost time. Charlie's Beats, welcome in. How's it going, Charlie? Good to see you. Thanks for shouting out our friend Charlie's Beats. Guys, if you're not following Charlie's Beats, he may one day stream again. But that's what I've read too, yeah. But now I understand like why, right? Because I did it. Like I worked with it for the first time. All right, I'm gonna lean you guys back. Okay, and then all right. Let's make some tacos. Okay, so let's see. This is a little bit more wet than I wanted, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay spinach on the bottom layer, just so that it will act as an additional liquid, like preventing permeation layer, basically. Now you're probably wondering, man, if you're starving, you don't want to do it this way. I'm both trying to make content for a stream, but also I want these to both look good for social media and taste good. And I was eating some of the rice that we made earlier, so I'm not like starving. So this this is fine. But yeah, if you're starving, you know, my sympathies if I'm making you jealous. So, yeah, the reason why I'd want this, especially because they're soft tacos, the tortillas can rip. And I do not want them to rip. So, we're taking whatever precautions we can take. Luckily, I just ate, says Feldenkade. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to make anybody jealous. Although deep down inside, I kind of do want to make people jealous, but like... not so much that you hate me. Let's see. Sometimes you find pieces that are not suitable for eating, so I just rip those off. Okay, I think hopefully this will be good enough. Alright, that's fine. Okay, alright. Next, let's go ahead and load these babies up. Actually, will it be easier if I use 2 forks? Yes, yes it will. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to do like an initial plop, and then we'll redistribute or add some more as needed. Okay, here we go. Distribute, distribute, distribute. We are getting some of that good, the juices. There's a lot of juice to be had. As I said, there's a little bit more liquid than I wanted, but that's all right. Okay, so here, I think we'll go with that. That looks good. Next, so if you have a block of cheese that you can shred, use that. I am currently not in a situation where I have cheese to shred, so I have to use this stuff. Pre-shredded cheese. So why do we have this stuff? Because my kid loves the pre-shredded cheese and refuses to eat other cheeses. It's also kind of handy for stuff like this when you don't have stuff around, but... So we're just gonna do this. If I had thought about it, I could have gotten a block of cheese yesterday. I did not think about it. Oh, do I still have a good line? Hold on. Some of these limes are not looking very good. Hold on. Okay, I think I have one lime that might be good. Alright, here's my potential limes. They're all kind of going bad. So, I hate throwing things away, but obviously don't eat anything if it doesn't look good. But you can use limes and lemons if they still have a little bit of juice in them. use them to clean like your metal, chrome around your sinks, because there's oftentimes a lot of calcium buildup. But the acid that's inside the limes and the lemons will help reduce and get rid of some of that. So, all right, where were we? Oh yeah, let me see. This, I think this was the this was the good one, maybe. Okay, please hold. I'm trying to cut old lime. Okay, now we've got it. All right, here we go. Lime. 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 When I was younger and somebody offered me limes for things, I was like, no, it never makes a big difference. I think I was using limes wrong. They do make a big difference. Okay, then we're going to get some guacamole. Okay, we're going to place a little bit of guacamole into each one. I'll spread it around in a second, but let's see here. Okay. Okay, guacamole is being spread. And this is like a nice guacamole that has like peppers in it. I think this is the one from Trader Joe's. I don't normally get this one, but we got it. And then finally sour cream. Okay, always check to make sure that the sour cream is okay before you start using it. I think I want a little bit more than that, but I'm also trying not to spill it. I'm very close to the edge of the table here. Okay. Alright, let's grab a little bit more for here. A little bit more for here. Okay. Sorry if that was loud. Alright, let's get this sour cream spread out a little bit. One thing that I've done is if you have a hard taco, you can kind of spread it on the inside of the lip. And so, actually, let me see if we can demonstrate with this. Spread on the inside of the lip. And then it will both look nice, and if you want to sprinkle anything else, it'll stick to it. So. Okay. All right. Just gonna do a little bit of this. And I don't know if anybody likes sriracha on their tacos, but we're gonna do that. Alright, here we go. I'm also precedenting and assuming that this is going to taste amazing. I do not know. This could be horrible, but we'll see. I'm just gonna put a trail. There we go. Okay. Let me remove the limes. Let's go ahead and show you now the creation we have made up close and personal. There we go. And then let's take a picture. I'm going to place it here for a picture. Boom. Alright, I'll drop that in the Discord. Food and drink. Made these on stream today too. Exclamation point. Tacos. There we go. Oh, the ad break. Oh, guys, welcome back from the ad break. You might have seen me putting these together, but here, let me go ahead and bring this up once again. There we go. And we still have our rice from earlier. I will forgo reheating it because I'm sure it's fine. Still fine. Alright. I'm going to take a bite of the taco. Delicious. Amazing. I will say that the bean mix, the shredded chicken, has a little bit more bean mix taste than I intended. But otherwise, tastes good. Tastes like shredded chicken. Taste some of the spices. A little bit of heat, not too much. Sour cream and guacamole, cold, soothing, clean, crisp. Got a little bit of lime. Very nice. As you can tell, I am hungry now, so. Let me hop back over here, and then, let me see. Can I tilt? Let me try and tilt this camera a little bit. Okay, good. I was concerned about my head getting chopped off, but if I lean over, this is fine. Now you guys can see me eating this, eating that. Microphone right there. It's all good. A little bit of rice. Nala Tanuki, welcome in. How's it going? How you doing, Lil? Chipper Doodle says, you gotta lean to eat tacos. Well, I guess I'm doing it right, because right now, I'm leaning. Leaning so good. Oh, thanks for shouting out Nala Tanuki. You guys are not following our friend Nala Tanuki. Please give Nala Tanuki a follow.
But, yeah. We made tacos. So, shredded chicken tacos in an Instant Pot. Made some leftover rice. Made more chicken mix as leftovers for another day. To be fair, I say it's going to be leftovers because that's effectively what it will become, but like I made it today, it'll be fresh later today. It'll be fresh today, but once it goes in the fridge, but I always make a lot more than I'll eat in one sitting because I have to clean all the pots and pans anyway, so. Well, Lil, how are you? How's it going? Welcome in. How are you doing? What are you up to? Thank you for the shout. I'm good. I'm now officially hungry. Oh, my sympathies. Or you're welcome. Ooh, that was a very limey bite right there, so. Alright, one taco, almost down. Mmm. Lil says, I just went to the gym. Lol. Ah. So the 3 tacos, it looked like they could have come from a food truck. Probably really appealing to you right now. I just realized the lighting is not that good over here. If I turn this on, now if I lean in, my face is not as dark, right? Unless I really want to have a dark face. Ooh. Oh. So the other day, some of you who have been in chat before today, you might have heard this joke already, but I'm telling everybody else. My kid told me the other day, Daddy, I want to be a bad guy. And I was like, oh, why do you want to be a bad guy? And she says, so I can take all the snow so the good guys can't play with it. And I'm like, I don't know if I should be nervous or proud. And then the other day, she also said, Daddy, let's pretend I have laser eyes. And I'm like, laser eyes? Where did you learn about laser eyes? Obviously, some kid at school told her about laser eyes. Haha, that's sneaky. Yeah, I know, right? And then I was like, what do you do with laser eyes? And I was like, are you gonna hurt your friends with laser eyes? Like looking at her like toy figures and stuff. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you gonna be a good guy or a bad guy? And she says, good guy. And I'm like, you know, if you're gonna use laser eyes to hurt your friends, that's probably a bad guy thing. And she's like, oh, okay. I want to be a bad guy. And I'm so yeah, now my kid is going to become a bad guy because she's going to steal the snow from the good guys and get her friend, like toy figure friends with laser eyes. Yep, there we go. Mad scientist at work right here. Nice work, Nam. You talking about my kid or my tacos? I sense that statement was for my kid. You should tell her it's better to be a tricky magic guy. I mean, yeah. Tots is both. Alright, thanks. Maybe she's secretly listening to Billie Eilish. No, I don't think she's secretly listening to anything, because she doesn't feel comfortable talking to Google. We are a Google household, so... And I play music on all the time. If there's any sort of risk of any sort of Billie thing, there's this K-pop group called Billie that I listen to. Billie. There's 3 L's in the K-pop group Billie. Sydney, aka Coco. Welcome in, Sydney. How are you doing today? Good afternoon from Michigan. A cooking stream, my favorite. Yes, we have just cooked shredded chicken to put in these tacos with beans and other spices, and it's good. I made some leftover rice, and then I also made more chicken mix to mix with rice later for my family. Mostly for my wife, because my kid is not quite ready to eat all sort of mixed things. Nala Tanuki said, "Oh, I got BTS tickets for Toronto! Yo!" First of all, congratulations on getting those tickets. And then number one. Number two, hype! Awesome. Enjoy going to BTS. So, funny story the other day. I went to my bank to deposit a check that I got from doing the library gig. And the teller, so I met her like a month or two ago, but she'd apparently been there at the branch forever. But I found out that she likes K-pop. And so while she's doing all my financial transactions, we're just talking about all sorts of K-pop bands and songs, and she's gonna go see BTS this year as well. And last time when I left her, she was like, "I'm gonna go try and get the tickets. Doesn't matter how much they are, we're gonna get them." And then I just went in this past week, saw her again, and she was like, "Yeah, I scored the BTS tickets." I'm like, "Yo, awesome, congrats!" So I know somebody locally here who will also be going to go see the show as well. Oh. Nala Tanuki says, "Yeah, floor seats too." No way, that's awesome. Okay. I don't know what seats. I think the seats that my teller got are not floor seats, so. But, yeah. Should be crazy. Should be fun. I'm not going, but. This is a big deal for anybody who didn't know. BTS has been a little bit on hiatus because some of the members were fulfilling their military requirement. And so there were a bunch of different songs that were released last couple of years from individual members. And they were doing collabs with other groups and things like that. So you saw some of the BTS members, but they haven't been... So this is like their comeback. And so when they come back, it's a pretty big deal. So I mentioned Billy earlier, the K-pop group. Surprisingly, one of my most played K-pop songs last year, when I looked at my recap, was a song called Trampoline by this K-pop group, Billy. Nala Tanuki says, "I love their older songs in Korean." Oh, yeah, so I like a bunch of their older stuff too. I think one of my favorite songs from BTS way back in the day was DNA. So that was like what, 2016? 2018? No, that was too late. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mic Drop is good. Oh, what's that one where they're in the music video? They're doing all the they're all dressed up in like the different costumes. It almost reminded me of like YMCA, but like the K-pop version of it. Oh, was it called Dope? I think it was their song called Dope, right? That was a good song. Yeah, Dope. Yep, that's right, Dope. Yeah, I love that one. Sweet. Yeah, as far as like BTS new songs, I like Dynamite probably the best. Like I like Butter, but I like Dynamite better. But yeah, between Dynamite and Butter, that's when like the BTS songs were all in English. And you would think like I should be overjoyed because I can understand all of the lyrics, but ultimately I'm listening to K-pop and it doesn't matter like if I understand it or not. So now Tanuki says, I recently watched Twice in Vancouver. No way! That's awesome. Twice has actually been around for a while. They're like one of the older girl groups that got popular in like the third generation of K-pop girl groups. And they're still around. I'm like, that says a lot. Because in the Korean music industry, they want to just spin up like girl groups, and then like they'll just chop them when they're not popular anymore. But Twice has been around for a long time. Sydney, aka Coco, says, I have a BTS poster somewhere. I had a friend visit from South Korea, and their 2 daughters purchased it here in Michigan and apparently forgot it when they went back home. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hopefully it was not expensive. Yeah, they've been around for a decade. Yeah. And you know what? Twice has gained increased popularity because they collabed with K-pop Demon Hunters. And so Twice is not going anywhere, as far as I can tell. Yeah, and they did the Victoria's Secret show last year. I did not know that they did a Victoria's Secret show last year. To be fair, I didn't know Victoria's Secret was really still around and doing shows and anything else. I basically know nothing about Victoria's Secret. But that's cool. That's cool. A 90-second ad break is starting. Thank you, Seribot. Man, ever since we set up Seribot, it's been super convenient to know when the ads are. But I guess that's a good time for me to take a bite. Nala Tanuki says, one of the members wore a bra that sold out so fast after the show. That's crazy. That's amazing, though. As far as, like, celebrity sponsorships, still a thing. But yeah, that's nuts. I went to a magic convention a few weeks ago. But there was a book that I wanted to get after watching the lecture from the magician that showed it. I walked out and there was a huge line to see him and buy his book. But they were like, hey, there's some also at the booth. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to go to the booth. I went to the booth and they were taking the last box of those books to the signing area. And I'm like, crap, they sold out. Luckily, I looked online and they were still available online, but I got my friend to purchase it for me, and he delivered it. We exchanged it yesterday, so he actually picked it up. And so now I have the book that I wanted. But that was a sold out scare, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to really get this later. Nice. But yeah, I don't think it's quite the same as a Victoria's Secret bra being worn by a K-pop member. No, Tanuki says, I missed getting the new BTS light stick. So for anybody who doesn't know, in K-pop culture, there's this product called the light stick. Now it's and the old version won't work in Toronto. Oh no, I'm sorry. So there's these light sticks, and they're just basically electronic digital lights. Maybe they have different parts that will light up different things, but when you bring them to a concert for the band that it's associated with, or if it's like the music company or whatever, when you are listening to the songs, they broadcast a signal to try and trigger all of the lights in synchronicity with the music. And so if everybody has these lights, as you like hear the songs progress, you'll see it like either make designs or do a wave or like do really cool things to the music, like across the crowd. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. Like from a technological standpoint, it's like super interesting because it's got to be real time. It's got to, you know, your position matters in relation to stuff, but like from just like it's like really expensive for one thing. Not that I would consider getting one because I don't go to concerts, so it doesn't matter to me. But like, man, this is like crazy. The technology is insane. Just like the server side of things. Yeah, that is cool. So anyway, my sympathy is that the old version won't work in Toronto. But you know why they didn't allow the old version to work? Probably because they just wanted you to buy another light stick. Like, I can't imagine the technology being so different that they couldn't have just adapted it or had like an old like legacy compatibility version or just also have it going on at the same time. But like, I don't know. I'm sure they just wanted you to buy a new light stick. That's probably it. Yup, that's right. You know. I'm hoping they will restock. I mean, yeah, it's not like you weren't willing to buy one. They just ran out, right? Which is unfortunate. So, yeah. Clearly the demand is there. When's the Toronto concert? Is that coming up? That's in like spring, right? Is that in spring? I don't remember. Because I don't follow concerts. I don't know when things are going on. August? Oh, okay. I think that's enough time for manufacture and restock. Hopefully they don't sell it again. New album comes out next month, and the first show in Korea is in April. So the tour starts in April. All right. Well, I'm sure BTS will make a lot of money. Yeah, I don't know. For people who are like outside of the K-pop sphere, if you know about BTS, if you've ever met, so they call fans of BTS, they call them ARMY, and so the BTS ARMY are basically like the community members who are huge fans, who are like hype about everything. They always ensure like all of BTS's songs are like at the top charts. Like if you go and look for like the top played BTS songs, not only are they very popular, but the BTS ARMY also ensures that they have like the most listens and streams as like humanly possible. And I'm like, That's insane. There are like scripts that I have seen where it's like, okay, so here's what you do. Go listen to this BTS song. They tell you which specific version so that it gets all the views. Because sometimes they'll release like maybe 2 music videos and like an audio only version. And they're like, oh yeah, always watch the main music video. And then watch some other, like if you're on YouTube, watch a few other videos. Come back, watch it again. Maybe you can listen to it 2 or 3 times. And then go watch a few other videos or play a few other videos. And then come back and watch a few. And it's like, it's very systematic in how they've laid out these scripts to just get additional views. And I'm like, this is meticulous. Like, this is insane. Lolo Frosty, welcome in. How's it going? Happy birthday, Magic Dude. Thank you kindly. My birthday is the day after tomorrow. But I had a big milestone birthday last year and I didn't celebrate. So I'm celebrating all week. So here we are. I'm cooking myself chicken tacos, shredded chicken tacos. Yeah, it's chaotic. Weird, lol. I know. Now Tanuki says, it's crazy how popular they are around the world. Yes. So K-pop groups are some of the most popular in the world, which is surprising. Oh, okay. Happy birth week. Thank you kindly, Lolo Frosty. Good to see you. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. But yeah, it's wild. Lolo Frosty says, I've been doing okay. I have been gaming. Awesome. I'm probably also going to be doing some gaming this week. So certainly I will stream probably on my birthday. I'm thinking at night. So Thursday night, my birthday stream, I will stream probably video games. If I don't stream video games, maybe I'll stream Magic. But I don't know. We'll see. I will do something on the Twitchiverse Thursday night. But yeah, oh, so if you end up watching any like popular K-pop song compilations or like things that are like the most played, I swear like the top 10 are always dominated basically just by BTS and Blackpink. And I'm like, wow, it just goes to show how popular those 2 specific groups are, Korean or otherwise. Like, I think the only other like major singer that I know off the top that competes with that is Taylor Swift. So it's kind of crazy. Lolo Frosty says, I know I did finally get COVID and I had to wait 6 years to get it. I got it on Christmas. Oh, my sympathies. Merry Christmas, Lolo Frosty. Probably not the Christmas present you wanted. I'm sorry. There's this thing going around the Western U.S. right now. I know because I think Gibson Lens had it. My best friend had it. And like, there's this crazy flu where people are like coughing for weeks. And it's going around, and like I feel really bad, and I hope anybody who's sick gets better. But man, it sounds like it sucks. No, Merry COVID, Miss Lol. Goddess in the Isles. Welcome in. How's it going? I have it now. It sucks. I'm sorry, Goddess in the Isles. Welcome in. First time chat. I don't know if you've heard of me before or looked before, but first time chat. Hi, my name is Nam. I'm also known as Crazy Asian, spelled this weird way on Twitch. I like to do sleight of hand card magic on Sunday nights, so I do sleight of hand Sunday, but today I'm cooking. Well, I'm done cooking. I'm eating now. But we made shredded chicken tacos. So Lolo Frosty asks, how's my child? She is doing well. She's 4 years old. I told the story earlier. I'll tell it again because I love telling the story. She said, Daddy, I want to be a bad guy. And I'm like, why do you want to be a bad guy? And then she says, because I want to take all the snow so the good guys can't play with it. And I'm like, oh, man. Crazy. Billie Eilish? No. I don't think it has any... No, she's never... As far as I know, she's never listened to Billie Eilish. I know that there's that song, the Billie Eilish song, Bad Guy, but... No, we don't listen to... We listen to K-pop in the house, so... That's cute! Yeah, I know. At first I was like, should I be nervous or proud? And I'm like, maybe a mix of both. We'll see where she takes it. But no, she's growing up pretty well. She's starting to learn how to read. I showed her a bunch of, like, she has a bunch of words posted on the wall over there. I showed a picture of, like, a bunch of flashcards taped to our wall. But there's an app that I'm making on Android, and that is an app where I'm basically going to be able to use it as flashcards to help her learn vocabulary words and sight reading and stuff. So, but yeah, and this was my first Android app that I created, so using it as a learning experience, but also helping my friend out because he has a kid that's younger than my kid, and he wasn't talking, so he took him to the speech therapist, and they were like, wow, we've never seen this before, because the 2-year-old, even though he couldn't speak that much, could read words. Like, apparently could read words better than my 4-year-old can. And I'm like, what? So the kid has a condition called hyperlexia, if you've ever heard of hyperlexia, which is like some condition characterized by kids being able to read either way better or at a higher level than they should be able to at that age. Lolo Frosty says, I have no idea how to make an app. I'm a software developer, so I should be able to make one. I did vibe code for the first few days, but now I'm actually making changes without needing to refer to the LLM. Nope, but that's interesting. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? Reality Ripple, welcome in. How's it going? Before I learned how to read, I memorized my favorite book, The Words and Where to Turn Pages. Awesome, yeah. So I was curious if there were certain instances in which either my kid or his kid like memorize things, but actually we know that there was like, he sent me a video of his kid reading words, and like a couple of them he hadn't, like, dad basically said he'd never seen them before, and I'm like, no way. And so because he wasn't speaking, he was pointing to like they write words on a big piece of paper, like on their, like in their kitchen, and they have him point to which word that he wants. Like, what do you want to eat for breakfast? And it might say like banana, cereal, pancakes. And even though he can't speak that well, but you know, like parents can understand what their kids say. So he points, says pamha, says like, oh, pancakes. That's what he wants. But so I made this app also because he just wanted like a flashcard app, because all the existing flashcard apps out there on the App Store are all like, you know, there's too many widgets. There's like, this is part of a game, so there's a score, there's a timer, or like, well, this is supposed to be a free app, but it's ad supported, and so like every few words you see an ad, and I'm like, that's stupid. That's not what we did this for a kid. So I'm like, I can make this app. Let me make this app. So I sat down and learned how to make an Android app. So there we go. So I'm actually going to show it to him tomorrow. But I've been making changes. I'm almost done with all the parts that make me that I'm happy with it. So Lolo Frosty said, I was like, Quizlet was nice. So that's funny. Somebody else mentioned Quizlet in chat to me when I mentioned this the other day. And I didn't look at it, but I looked it up on the store and it said there's in-app ads. What is it? What does it do? Lolo Frosty said, to be honest, I never really liked reading. I mean, you don't have to like reading to be able to do it, right? And then, yeah. So, but anyway, welcome in Reality Ripple. How's it going? How are you doing? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. We have destroyed the tacos. I wrecked them. It's a flashcard website. Oh, it's a website? Alright, hold on. I have to look this up now because I'm very curious. Quizlet. Every class does one ultimate study app. Create your own flashcards. Oh, so you do have to sign up with an account to have one. It might be free, but the other thing was like he didn't want to sign up for something or have it connect to the cloud or whatever, which was like one of his requirements. What do you think about it? Like for like free services nowadays, we've made a lot of like we as a people, as a culture, we've sacrificed a lot of our privacy so that we can get free apps and things like that. But like you shouldn't have to, right? So hold on, I want to look up Quizlet again in the App Store and see what it asks me to do. Quizlet. More flashcards. And it says right here, contains ads. Quizlet Inc. So let me see. Smart tools that teach you flashcards, interactive practice tests, and AI tools. So yeah, like that's like, it's too much for what he wanted. He literally just wanted to be able to manage a list of words. And that's it. He doesn't want AI. He doesn't want to connect to anything. He doesn't want cloud. He also just wants to be able to open it, and then it works. Like, okay. So anyway, the rest of this stream will probably not go that long, but I can either end it now, or we can chat, and you can watch me put away food. The reality of cooking big batches of things is that you have to clean it up and put it away. So, oh, the ad is finishing now. All right. So, the stream won't go that much longer, but I'm probably just going to be cleaning up and putting food away for the rest of stream. But if you guys want to chat, I mean, we can talk about stuff. Actually, if you guys want to get a sneak preview of the app, let me see here. Can you see my phone? Okay, cool. So my phone, hold on. Okay. So the app that I made, I gave it an icon. This is a Gen AI icon. It says, oh, you can't see it, but it says words, and I'm calling it Word Displayer. And then it literally just opens right away. There's no load time because it's literally just text files. And then if I wanted to make a new list, I created a list of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So you can add a new word, you can delete existing words, you can have other word lists. So let's say I wanted to load like 4-letter words for my kid to learn. We open that. We can scroll through. You can scroll with the buttons or you can scroll with this. And then if you like all your lists and you got them the way you want, you can export them. You can import something if you happen to delete everything by accident. Actually, yeah, let me delete everything except for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So here we're going to delete. Boom. Delete all selected, yeah. So now there is one list, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we can open that. Whoops. I think I actually swiped back. Although there is something that I'm not sure if it is a bug, but sometimes it crashes. But now we can load the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle list. There's Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael. No! No, not the turtles! Yeah. If you, look, I can delete the turtles, see? I can delete each and every turtle. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, see, I'm getting that. Oh, no, that was a weird gesture thing. Anyway, I've got to figure that out because it seems maybe not stable. But anyway, and if I want to get all those lists back because I exported them earlier, so I can import my word lists and they come back. Ta-da! So there we go.
go. So I made that in the last couple weeks. And Dre says, "Oh, it looks good. Did you do it with XML or Compose?" Oh, Compose, because the LLM said, "Yeah, this will probably make your life easier right now." I'm like, "Oh, all right, let's use that." So, yeah. And it's like I'm used to handling XML and markup, but I'm like, I don't really, if I can avoid it. Like ever since like JSON came out to be like the data portable thing, and I'm like, if I don't have to look at XML or any sort of strict markup ever again, I'd be good. But no, yeah, use Composed. So incredible. I'm Team Compose. Haha. All right, yeah. So no, that's a good reason. It seems also like easier because it kind of abstracts away some of that. But so obviously I was mentioning some of the struggles. So obviously I have to deal with like some of the formatting myself. So I'm dealing with like padding issues and stuff like that. But it's not like they're real issues. It's just like I want to move this button a little bit, and I was never really that great at front end stuff. Like if you give me like a wireframe or like a mock-up, I can make it match. But if you want me to make something look good on my own, it's probably not going to look good on my own. Like I'm not a designer. That's not how my brain operates. But yeah, so that's my app. That's so I'm probably going to try and see what it takes to get that on the App Store. I have to pay like a $25 fee to become like an Android app developer. But then maybe the next app I write, maybe we can make that cost something. It's also a nice portfolio piece, and because I've never done Android app development before, it'll be good, so I can maybe get into Android app development. And the reason why I'm not getting into Apple development is very simple. I only have Android devices. I don't have any Apple devices. So I could not create or test what I ended up making on an Apple device. So, yeah. Okay, excellent. Team Compose, all right. Well, I'm glad I chose the right team. Yeah, I think it happens in many cases where developers perhaps aren't so good at design. Yeah. Like, I was a full stack developer for a while, and I had to do some front end stuff, and I'm like, I could do it, but I couldn't make it look pretty. But if you're just like, make it look like this, I'm like, okay, I can make it look like that. That's fine. You take all the design work out, and I'm like, okay. I think the extent of anything I ever changed was like, this control doesn't make sense over here. It should really go over here. And I argued my point, and that made sense, and that was the only time I deviated from like a design spec. Although maybe after doing Android app development, maybe I'll have more opinions. Okay, I think I got most of it. Do I want the liquid in here? Yeah, probably. It's always a choice. You have to decide. Do you want to store your food with whatever liquid and juices or not? The benefits of keeping them together is that your food will basically always taste like everything together. The benefits of doing it separately is that if I, like, for example, I was complaining about too much liquid, I could have the thing with slightly less liquid. But also, if I reserve the liquid, I could use it in another dish. So, rest assured, the liquid with all the flavors was not going to go somewhere not being used, but the difference is just, is it with this or some other dish, is the question. Lolo Frosty says, "Can you pause for each word?" Yeah, in my app, you can just stay on the screen. You actually don't progress to the next word. unless you tap on the button or you scroll on the word on the swipe. So Lolo Frosty, great question, and yeah, the answer is yeah, you can stay on the word as long as you want, just as long as you don't press a button or swipe the screen. Andre says, oh, it's also at the other extreme where it says they make such incredible models that even we developers wonder, how did we do that? Yeah, we're the design team. Oh, wait. Oh, good to know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, some flashcard apps I looked at were like, yeah, here's all the flashcards, here's the timer, and then it would automatically change. And I'm like, well, that's not what he wants for a 2-year-old. And I'm like, I don't want that for my kid. I'm like, if my kid doesn't recognize it, I'm like, okay, we can even talk about it, we can stay there, or we can go to a different word if it's like upsetting her that she can't figure it out or something. It's like, I don't know. It just seems like the other apps should just have that basically as a basic option. And also, like, if I was... So, like, I would be getting the app as me, right? So, for Quizlet, I have to sign up with an account. But what if I don't care about these words? I want them for my kid. My kid isn't old enough to have an account. Because I think you have to be at least, 13 years old before you should be able to have a regular Gmail account or something. I think if you have one younger, you can have, like, a minor account, but it has to be associated with, like, a parent or guardian's main account. And so, like, I don't know if they would have the same permissions to be able to do stuff, like, in apps and things like that. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so that's that. I need to put this into a container. So this was some of the chicken mix we made earlier. Alright, so yeah, so anyway, I'm using Android app development to kind of get back into development. I was being a little bit lazy. You know, when you lose your employment, there's a little bit of bitterness. It's like, oh, maybe I didn't want to program every day right after that. I feel like that's kind of where I was. But now I'm like, I've been obsessed with like finishing this app and being like, ooh, doing a really good job and like learning about it and the ecosystem and the tools. So for anybody who's not an Android developer, Android development's super simple if you use Kotlin and Android Studio because everything is there for you. Like if you need to debug, there's a virtual Android device and you can have the device be like any device that you want. If you want to simulate a tablet, if you want to simulate a phone with a small screen, if you want to... and like if you make any files on the device and you're like, oh, I just need to see what they look like on, you know, you can save them, you can download them basically from your virtual phone. I don't know. It's like all the tools are there. I haven't done this, which I probably should for maybe more complicated projects. I don't feel like this one needed it, but I could create unit tests and other tests and just have them run. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's like a full, that's like a fully featured IDE, integrated development environment. Andre says, but oh yeah, that's. Oh, but the important thing is that you're coming back and you're doing it with a very good idea. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, like I went to school for I went to school for computer science, technically. But I mean, all the computer science jobs and software engineer jobs are pretty much the same once you get out of college. So that's what I went to college for. I dedicated my time and, you know, I have the skills and technically making stuff is really fun. You know, I just feel like there are times when I was less motivated. So, but yeah, I have some ideas and I want to get them out in the world, whether I have full-time employment or not. I might just get them out and maybe try and get money from them because, yeah. Eventually, savings will run out. All right. Let me see here.
How long have I been streaming? For a bit? Trying to see. Okay, almost 3 hours? Alright. I guess I have to try and just make it to the 3 hour mark, and then we can raid. I won't be able to stay past 3 hours anyway. Oh, so curious question. If I was to do some software development on stream, would people be interested in seeing that? Or no? Would that be super boring? I suppose notwithstanding there are developers in the chat, so like that might be more interesting for you guys than everybody else, but an ad break is starting soon. Seribot, come on. Come on, Seribot. I'm just gonna quickly step over here and look at this emote really quick. Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a second. Also wondering for anybody who can hear this, is the audio better or worse or about the same as usual? Because I didn't see or hear anybody mention anything about my voice audio quality during stream, so I'm just wondering if it was any different. Which, if it's not different, then I guess it's good. Or if it's better, that's good. I just didn't want it to be worse. So, yeah. But anyway, while we're here, let me see. Audio is great. Same as usual. All right. Thanks, Lil. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I got a bunch of new microphones, and I was thinking, like, are they going to be better or worse or about the same? So, thank you. And the other thing was, I don't know if you were here earlier, Lil, but I was mentioning that maybe I will sing karaoke this week because I haven't sung karaoke in a long time. And it'll be my birthday in a couple days. So I'm like, maybe I'll sing karaoke this week. Andre says, if you ever need help or extra hands for another project, I'd be happy to work on it, both for enjoyment and practice. Oh, all right, cool. Well, thanks for the offer. I don't know if you hopped into my Discord yet, Andres, but that's probably the best place to coordinate with me, and then we can chat, or at least I'll be able to find you, you'll be able to find me. But yeah. Ooh, that will be fun. Excellent. I said that I was going to do a karaoke stream another time. Maybe I should just do a little quick preview. So a long time ago, when I was trying to impress some girls that were my age, back in middle school, there was a battle of the boy bands, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Hey Google, play I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys.
Alright, playing I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys on YouTube Music.
Hey Google, volume up. Yeah. You are my fire, the one desire, believe when I say I want it that way, and we are two worlds apart, can't reach to your heart when you say
that I want it that way. Tell me why he ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why he ain't nothing but mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Am I your fire, your one desire? Yes, I know it's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why he ain't nothing but a heartache. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I want it that way. Now I can see that we've fallen apart from the way that it used to be. Yeah, no matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside of me, you are my fire, the one desire. You are, you are, you are, you are. Don't wanna hear you say nothing but a heartache. Ain't nothing but a mistake. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Tell me why he ain't nothing but heartache. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I hear you say I want it that way. Tell me why I ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never want to hear you say I want it that way. 'Cause I want it that way.
Hey Google, stop playing.
All right, there's a preview. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So I have some issues with like my vocal range because I'm like, oh no, that's too high for me, and then I have to drop it down like by an octave, and then it doesn't sound good during the song. So, hey Google, stop playing. Could you guys hear the music, by the way? I was not sure, but I'm like, all right, whatever. If you could only hear my voice, I mean, still technically karaoke, right? Thank you kindly for the claps and the emotes and the dancing. Nala Tanuki, Schaffer Stern, Sydney. Thank you guys. Is that how you got the girl? No, I did not get the girl from singing. Mostly just your voice. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a couple of things that I do sing that use this normal vocal range, but like I think like there's a couple of songs from Phantom of the Opera that are like I don't know all the lyrics, so I might have to look. Hold on, let me see. Phantom of the Opera lyrics. Hold on. What time is it? All right. Do you guys want another song? If I hear nothing, I'll assume no. One more, says Nala Tanuki. Okay. Hey Google, play Music of the Night from Phantom of the Opera.
All right, playing the Music of the Night by Andrew Lloyd Webber on YouTube Music.
Hey Google, increase volume. And Google, hey Google, start song over.
All right, playing the music of the night by Andrew Lloyd Webber on YouTube Music.
All right, here we go. It did not start over. Hold on. All right. Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness wakes. Oh, stirs imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Helpless to resist the notes I write. For I compose the music of the night. One of my favorites is Sydney, aka Coco. Sounds great. Where are we? Tender, turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold, unfeeling light. And listen to the music of the night. Close your eyes and embellish on your darkest dreams. Purge all thoughts of the life you knew before. Close your eyes, let your spirit start to soar. I can't hit that note. And you'll live like you've never lived before. I was a little too fast right there. Softly, deftly, music shall caress you. Hear it, feel it, secretly possess you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind in this darkness which you know you cannot fight. The darkness of the music of the night. Start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts of the world you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Floating. that one was hard. Sorry, I'm trying to listen to the lyrics. Where are we? Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Touch me, trust me, savor each sensation. Let the dream begin, let your darker side give in to the power of the music that I write. The power of the music of the night. Dance solo, right? This is where they're doing something, but the song's not over yet. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. You alone can make my song take
fly. Help me make the music of the night.
And then the end of the song has like that awkward transition where it's like it's kind of like bright, but then it gets a little darker because I think in the performance it transitions to like a darker. Anyway, that was Music of the Night from Phantom of the Opera. Hey Google, stop playing. All right, there you go. We did fill the 10 minutes, so it is now. I've been streaming for 3 hours officially, and you guys got 2 songs. How is that? Should I consider doing karaoke music streams? Thank you kindly for the claps. Nala Tanuki. Thank you for the emotes as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I should probably also practice. I don't really sing that often now anymore, so... fun idea! Awesome. Cool. Alright. Okay, with that, let's go find somebody to raid. Because I think my family is going to be home soon. And my wife says she never wants to be on live stream. So let's raid out, and then I won't get in trouble. Oh. There is somebody who is cooking that we can raid out to right now. Let me see. Let me see. Where else can we go? We may just end up going over there because cooking and cooking. Although I guess I was singing technically at the last minute over here. Let's see. Fun idea. That would be an amazing idea. Thank you for the stream. Have a good day, everyone. Yeah. Oh, guys, I think we saw all of our mods today. Hold on. Let me type. Guys, if you're not following our friends and mods, please give them all a follow. Our friend and mod, Gibson Lens. Our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man. Our friend and mod, the Rusty Panda. And our newest mod, Feldenkane, which I have to still create a Feldenkane specific. I haven't created one yet, so we'll get there. Hashtag one thing at a time. And then, guys, if you want to come along for the raid, here's a raid call. Here's a sub-raid call. And then we're going to be going over to... Oh, whoops. I'm bad at typing. Sub-raid. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to go over to our friends Eat at Dad's. He is also doing cooking right now. See you next time, says Shuffer Stern. Thank you kindly for coming in, everybody. Thank you for hanging out and chatting, watching me cook, watching me eat. I'm sorry if I made you hungry. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at the food. Let me see. Eat at Dad's. Okay. And then raid target. Eat at Dad's. Okay, cool. And then also let me open up the stream so that I know. Let's also make sure they're still on by the time I get there. You know, I've canceled a raid a couple of times before, but only because I thought, and there was this one time I raided into an empty stream, so, and it was Eat at Dad's, so. All right. Okay, it looks like he's still going, and he's in the middle of stuff, so if I can't imagine he's ending anytime soon. All right, cool. So, all right, thanks everybody for coming to hang out. I'm going to be continuing to stream this week. I don't know when, but I probably want to play a game at some point, and I might do maybe I'll do karaoke as well. So we'll see. But yeah, if you guys aren't already in the Discord and you want to hang out, that's probably the best place to hang out and see me see all my announcements for all my streams. All right, but anyway, good seeing everybody. Take care, everybody. Andres, nice chatting with you today, getting to know you. Sydney, aka Coco, good seeing you again. Chipperdoodle, thank you so much for being here. Oh yeah, if you want to copy that raid call, that. All right, and then I can.